Imagine getting paid to talk all day. Dream job, right? But has the ship sailed on breaking into the voice acting industry in 2024? Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, I'm Joe Zija, a full-time voice actor for the last 10 years and founder of LearnVoiceActing.com, where I demystify the industry and empower you to start your voice acting journey today without anybody's permission. Okay, I hear this crap all the time about how voice acting is a dying industry and that it's too competitive, there are too many talent, blah, 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 blah. I want to preempt this discussion by telling you that I think that this is a message that comes from two general sources. First, it comes from people that aren't actually even in the industry at all. These are the people that show up on all of my YouTube comments and Facebook mentions and whatever, crying to the heavens that AI is about to take over the entire industry. Voice acting is a ridiculous idea. You can't make money doing that. These are the same kinds of people that'll tell you that if you picked a profession like writing or art or design that you're an idiot because nobody ever really likes those things, that you need to get a real job like welding or something like that. Mind you, these are the same people that spend most of their weekends writing 6,000-word blog posts about Marvel movies because it's the thing that gives their life meaning, which comes from us. I've always found that really ironic that all the people that complain about the liberal arts and creative disciplines are people that consistently consume creative media. If you can't tell by now, my main advice for this is that you just straight up shouldn't listen to these people because they're just sad that they're pouring their lives into a corporation that doesn't care about them. Too soon? The real problem about this opinion is because of the second group of people that this comes from all the time. You know who that is? Actors. That's right. There's a tremendous amount of negative energy that comes from actors in our industry, and it's one that I've spent a lot of my career trying to correct. But I'll tell you, my fellow voice actor or aspiring voice actor, that there are two things that will make it much easier for you to avoid believing the hype that other actors transmit that it's not a good time to get into the industry. First, and this is one thing that so many people fail to recognize, is that actors can't hire you. Surprise! The people that are telling you the most that it's too late to get into the industry are the people that can't even hire you for jobs. This is a piece of advice that I encourage you to take with you through many different topics of discussion. Actors can't hire you. Sure, some of them are directors and casting directors, but for the most part, these aren't the people whose approval you require. Not even mine. I don't need to approve of the way you build your career. I don't need to approve of the way you act. Why? Because I don't hire you. So when it comes to taking opinions of other actors, especially those that are trying to tell you that getting into the industry is not a good idea, take a long, hard look. A lot of the actors that are constantly talking about the idea that it's not a good time to get into the industry are those that made their career in the 1990s. This makes sense to me. Of course, you can't make a career now like you could in the 1990s. That voiceover scene was one in which you would go to your agent's office in New York and LA. You'd sit in a lobby smoking cigarettes and you'd wait for someone to walk out with an audition for you. You'd go in and you'd read. You'd have 5 people competing with you. You'd book the job, you'd make $200,000 and you'd go home. This sounds like hyperbole, but there were a lot of cases in which you could essentially work 1 to 3 jobs in a given year and walk home with 6 figures. This had to do with the way that union contracts worked, the fact that there simply weren't a lot of talent in the industry, and the fact that most of the talent and the jobs that booked them were located in either New York or Los Angeles. Remote recording wasn't a thing. So what I want to make sure you guys understand when someone tells you that you can't build a career in 2024, what they're telling you is that you can't build their career in 2024. They're talking about their voice acting career. They're telling you you can't build it like they did. You following me here? It's honestly the equivalent of a 16th century Renaissance painter telling you there's no way that you're going to ever make a living in the graphic design industry because you can't find some rich patron to pay all of your expenses. You know, since we don't have monarchies anymore, there's no way you're ever going to make a living as an artist since you can't have rich patrons. And those 16th century Renaissance painters have never heard of things like email, websites, casting websites, direct marketing, and all the plethora of ways that you can still make a living using the same skill set in an industry that's much bigger than it was when they started. The burden is on us as actors in 2024 to innovate, to make sure that we're staying sharp, to make sure that we're working on our skills, to make sure that we're only focusing on the things we can control and not the things we can't. Can we control where commercials are airing? Can we control the fact that cable TV is probably slowly dying? No, we can't. We can control where we are currently looking for jobs. We can control how we use our memberships on pay-to-play sites. We can control how we direct market, how often, who we market to. We can control who we network with, what our websites look like, how well we can approach any piece of copy. We can control our diversity, our determination, the way we schedule our days and our lives, our productivity. If you think I'm blowing smoke, let's talk about some statistics for a few minutes. If you're already a part of my Voice Acting Academy, you're probably gonna guess what I'm gonna say about the industry. Most of the money is not where you think it is. You know where it is? I'll give you a hint. Most people never see it. Yes, the voice acting industry has great opportunity to be involved in these incredibly creative projects like video games, animation, but the video game industry, the entire industry that doesn't just include voice actors, only about a $170 billion industry. Can you guess how much, for example, the e-learning industry is? Can you figure that out? It's $370 billion. Almost 3 times as much as the video game industry, with a lot more voice actors able to get that work. Hollywood doesn't even know about this part of the industry. Not only is it the most lucrative, or one of the most lucrative, but it's the stuff that an agent probably won't ever hand you. It's the stuff that you have to go out and get for yourself. And that's gonna give you a return on investment behind the microphone that makes the rest of the world laugh at the rates that video games and animation and anime gets paid, because it can't possibly be true. Put it this way, if you spend 5 minutes on a $500 corporate video, that's internal only, not gonna get shown to anybody, and trust me, I do this all the time, you're talking about $6,000 an hour behind the microphone if it only takes you 5 minutes to read it. Now, of course, you're not gonna be working 40 hours a week doing explainer videos. There's not that much work out there. But as far as a return on investment for your time, the voice acting industry is still going incredibly strong. And it's expanding rapidly. It's not contracting. It's not being taken over by AI. The data just doesn't support it. So the next time you're in a conversation with an actor who built his career before the internet, who's telling you you need to build your career in the same way that they built theirs, you can just smile and nod. Why? Because you know better. And while they're still trying to figure out how to build their own website and how to engineer themselves from home, you can be out there booking all the work that they didn't even know existed. If you found this information informative and helpful, and I hope you did, I encourage you to give me a like and subscribe. It helps me support the channel and help me continue educating the next generation of voice acting. And if you're ready to jumpstart your voice acting career, head over to the link in the description below for a free ebook on how to get started today. Because trust me, you can. I have students that are booking gigs all the time. I'll see you in the next one. Go get behind the mic.